Hello and welcome to Matt's Casual Cooking. Today we are going to be making gooey pumpkin butter cake. Very fun and tasty recipe for this time of year. Always good to take to a Thanksgiving dinner. So we're going to go over all the ingredients and how to put together, and let's get to it. Alright folks, so before we go over the ingredients today, please like and subscribe. It's a very traditional way to get great recipe videos in your inbox every week. Now we're just going to break this down into two sections. Now for your crust, you need 1 box of yellow cake mix. Now I'm using a 15 1/4, but again, if you could only find like 13 1/4 ounce, that's fine. You're going to need 8 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to want to melt that. And you're just going to need 1 egg. Now for your filling, you're going to need 8 ounces of cream cheese, and that's going to be softened. You're going to need a 15-ounce can of pumpkin. You're going to need 3 eggs. You need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You're also going to need 8 more tablespoons of butter, and we're going to melt that as well. You're going to need 1 box of powdered sugar. Now it's going to be 16, or you're going to need 16 ounces, because that's what the boxes are. And we're going to want a little extra powdered sugar for the end as well, but you do need 1 box. Now you're also going to need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. So we're going to go over the crust here first in a minute. I will see you then. Alright folks, so in the bowl, right now I've got the cake mix and I've already put my egg in. So I've got my butter here. Let's go ahead and make sure to dump it in. And I'm going to try to get as much in as I can. We'll make sure we get enough moisture in with this. That's really about it. And what we're going to do is just take an electric mixer, or if you're using a stand mixer, that's fine as well. And we're just going to beat it together until it's well combined and kind of nice and smooth. And what you want to also do at this time is turn your oven to 350 degrees, and you want to get out a 9x13 pan, and you want to lightly grease it. So go ahead and combine it, and I will see you when we're done. So you can see this is pretty well combined, the cake batter. So what you want to do is in your pan, we're just going to want to kind of pat it down. And if you need to use your hands for this, be my guest. There's nothing wrong with it. Is we want to put it into, we want to cover the bottom of the pan. And you can kind of see I'm kind of pressing down. That's going to push it out and expand it. But we need to cover corner to corner on this. So what I like to do is just kind of push part of it into a corner. And if it's not perfect, don't worry. If there's a couple gaps, I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. So just go ahead and do that, and we're going to set it off to the side for the time being. And then we're going to go over the filling, so I will see you in a minute. Alright folks, and really quickly, this should kind of be what the crust is going to look like. Again, it's not perfect. I've just smashed it down end to end. So for your filling, initially I've got the cream cheese and the pumpkin together. So what you want to do, take an electric mixer or your stand mixer. I did clean these, don't worry. And you're just going to beat these together until they're nice and smooth. Then once that's done, you want to get out melted butter, the eggs, and the vanilla. So go ahead and do that, and I will see you in a minute. Alright folks, so what I've done already is I've added the vanilla and the eggs. And you can see it's pretty well combined, but you're going to have maybe a couple chunks of cream cheese in here, and that's okay, so don't worry about that. So just take your butter then, just combine all three together. And I like to make sure I get as much of it out as I can. Okay. Now again, just mix this together until it's well combined, and then we're going to move on to the next step. So I will see you then. Alright folks, so you can see I'm done with the second step, and I've already added the cinnamon, nutmeg, and now for the powdered sugar though, I've only added about half of it. Well, for starters, this is a small bowl, and I want it all go flying everywhere. And second, it's a lot of powdered sugar if you're not using a stand mixer. Now, if you have a stand mixer, you can probably put the whole thing in, but it's okay if you do about half and half on the powdered sugar. So again, beat this until it's well combined. I'm going to add the second amount of powdered sugar, and then once that's done, we'll move on to baking it. So I will see you then. Alright folks, so you can see we are done, and this is pretty well combined together. So what you can do is what you're seeing here. Just kind of pour it over the crust. And definitely want to get out as much of the batter as we can. I do like to try to let it just kind of fall out naturally first. It's going to get the majority of it out. And we've got quite a bit. Other than that, I'll clean that up in a second. Just kind of spread it out. Just kind of make sure it's as even as humanly possible here. So now for cooking, we're only going to cook it for 18 to 20 minutes. Or I'm sorry, I'm thinking of something else. We're going to bake it for 40 to 50 minutes. And we don't want to overdo this because we want this up here to be kind of gooey. It's a gooey butter cake. So go ahead and do that, and I will see you at the end. Alright folks, so you can see we're done, and you really want to let it cool to about room temperature before you store it in your stomach. So what we're going to do now, while it's cooling, you want to take some powdered sugar and like a sifter, or however you want to do it, and you just want to, see I'm just sifting it out over the top. Or you get a couple chunks in there, that's okay. Nothing wrong with a little extra powdered sugar. And you don't need to go too heavy on the layer. There's already a lot of sugar in this, but you just want a nice dusting on top. And we got a little on the stove, but we can clean that up. Okay, I think we're pretty good here. I'm just going to use the rest of it. There's really not that much. Okay. As you can see, it's going to be very, very tasty after this. So like I said, let it cool to room temperature before you store it. And it might deflate a little bit, but that's okay. So if you did enjoy making this recipe today, like, subscribe, share, please. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. And I want to thank you for watching. And with this season, please come back with me next week to fall into flavor. So I will see you then.